Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Synsei Inc. and today I am back with another One Piece video. Now, One Piece episode 984 just aired a couple days ago, and with it, a big controversy in the community. As most of you may know by now, because I'm assuming you're caught up to the manga watching this video, Zoro first used his Conqueror's coding in chapter 1010. However, in episode 984, Toei decided to go a different route with Zoro's Conqueror's Haki. During the beginning of the episode, Zoro enters the rave scene and there's a bunch of Kaido's men and they're all drinking. One of the men gets aggressive, grabbing Zoro's shoulder, and you see this pulsating energy come from his eye. At this point, I thought to myself, it may be Conqueror's Haki, however, I wasn't quite sure. But the emotion of the guy that was drinking definitely changed, and he became very chummy with Zoro. But then again, later on in the same scene, Zoro was in this same rave, and this time he gets into an altercation with one of Kaido's men. The rest of Kaido's men that are around him try to pile on Zoro, and very deliberately, Zoro uses Conqueror's Haki to knock out all of them. That caused a lot of confusion within the One Piece community, and because of that, I'm here today to explain why Zoro was using the Conqueror's Haki so regularly as if he's always had it. But before we get into today's video, I just want to say I love and appreciate you all, and if you want to help me out by liking the video, I'd appreciate that as well. The like goal for this video will be 1,000 likes, and if we could get there, that would be awesome. Also, if you want more One Piece content like this, make sure you subscribe and you turn on those post notifications. Let's get into the video. So the problem that a lot of people in the community seem to have, at least in a loud minority, which is Twitter, is that this might have ruined the 1010 chapter for the anime onlys. There are a lot of anime only fans, and I want to talk about Zoro's Conqueror's Haki and explain it to them, but also explain why this might have happened in this Toei episode. But before we get to the reason that Toei may have chosen to go this route with Zoro, let's talk about the actual thing at hand here, Zoro's Conqueror's Haki, because there were actually times within the anime and manga series that Zoro may have been using Conqueror's Haki all along and we just didn't know about it. Very early on in One Piece, when Zoro was facing Dad's bones, he has a moment with the voice of all things. We see Zoro thinking to himself and saying, "I've had this feeling before. Everything around me was eerily silent. My heartbeat was like distant thunder. It was like standing at the gates of Hades." Now in this moment, it kind of seems like he is hinting towards maybe having a Conqueror's Haki moment before. The actual description, his heartbeat was distant like thunder, how he felt like everything was eerily silent. This could have been him tapping into his very strong will and actually having dormant Conqueror's Haki, or even admitting it at some point. Furthermore, in the future in Fishman Island arc, Luffy knocks out 50,000 people with Conqueror's Haki, and Zoro said that if he didn't possess it, it would be time for Luffy to step down from being captain. So a lot of people think, because of this comment, that Zoro had already had it, or he looks at it as something that isn't special, something regular, but we'll come back to that later. Or what about the time when he goes against Monet? One of the biggest things in Conqueror's Haki is intimidation, and in Punk Hazard, Zoro was able to intimidate Monet to such an extent that she was unable to actually reform herself. He sliced through Elogia without using Haki because he didn't want to kill Monet, and she could not reform her shape. The same intimidating aura gets brought up in different times, even recently with the Sumo and Wano that fled from him and left Okiku because Zoro had a strong intimidating aura about him. Now, of course, I have to be clear, these are just times that he could have been talking about, hinting at, or using Conqueror's Haki, although it's not confirmed. However, I want to bring up something else that happened very recently that could have been very similar to this situation. If you recall, there are times within the story in which Conqueror's coding has been used but not confirmed. Just to give a few examples, Shanks clashing with Whitebeard in the beginning of the story could have been a Conqueror's coding clash, Big Mom and Kaido clashing in Wano, but the one that is most definitely Conqueror's coding is Roger and Whitebeard clashing during the Odin flashback. These are times where Conqueror's coding could have been used in the story but was never completely confirmed. However, once it gets confirmed as Conqueror's coding in chapter 1010, the very next time we see a character use it, it gets called exactly what it is, Big Mom uses a Conqueror's coding punch against Alti and they name it as such. This goes to show that until Oda specifically reveals something within the story, he will not name it that. But once it gets revealed, he can start using it like it's regular, like it's been in the story. And these are things that have happened before with those clashes I brought up. So the same thing could be said for Zoro's Conqueror's Haki. So let's go back to the anime and the reason why Zoro was using Conqueror's Haki so regularly as if he's always had it. Because now in the manga, since it happened in chapter 1010, Zoro using Conqueror's Haki, Oda and Toei and everyone else can start using Conqueror's Haki with Zoro as if it was regular or something that has always happened. Now, the counter question to this is, well, Zoro didn't know he had Conqueror's Haki. Remember in chapter 1010, he said he didn't know what Kaido was talking about. Well, I want to use two very specific things that I've brought up so far to counteract that and explain what he meant by that. To be very specific, it is on page 10 of chapter 1010 in which everyone is talking about. Zoro was huffing and puffing, and Kaido says, "Damn it, boy, don't tell me you can use the color of the Supreme King too." And Zoro responds, "Huh? What are you talking about?" "I don't have any idea what you mean. That was the best attack I could do. I was hoping I'd at least knock you on your feet." And Kaido says, "Oh, you did enough. This wound will remain with me." So Zoro saying that he doesn't understand what he means. A lot of people think and take that as him saying he doesn't know about Conqueror's Haki. Well, that's false. We know that Zoro understands about Conqueror's Haki because of what I brought up earlier. In the chapter where Luffy knocks out the 50,000 people, Robin and Brook are talking with Jinbei and says this is Haki. He can do this after only 2 years of training. Sanji says the color of Supreme King, I knew he had it in him. And Zoro says he'd better be able to do that much or I'd have to take over as captain. This means in context that Zoro had Conqueror's Haki, because if he says that Luffy should be able to do this or I'll take over, he's implying that he already has that same ability and this is regular to him. We didn't know in hindsight that this meant 100% that Zoro had it, but I think without a shadow of a doubt, after 1010 and after episode 984, Zoro had Conqueror's Haki and he's had it this entire time. So this argument that he did not know about Conqueror's Haki is false. I'm showing you the panel here. He knows about it. Even Sanji knew about it. So what was he talking about? Zoro does not understand that he can use Conqueror's coding on his weapons. He knows that he has Conqueror's Haki, however, he does not understand that the flow of Haki can go into his sword. He did not know that using his Ashura, he could do it in conjunction with his Conqueror's Haki to make a more potent attack. So he's not talking about Conqueror's Haki when he says he doesn't know, he's speaking directly about Conqueror's coding. Now this is to explain why Toei was showing it so regularly. I tried to use things that have happened with Conqueror's coding and it getting revealed, and then Oda using it regularly in a future chapter with Big Mom to correlate it to the same thing with Zoro and Conqueror's Haki. Now that every manga reader knows that Zoro has Conqueror's Haki, Toei can use it more at liberty. But the next thing that I have to address is why are they doing this? Well, in my honest opinion, there are two reasons. One is from a business standpoint and one is from a marketing standpoint. The business standpoint for me is that they are trying to cater more to Japanese fans. The Japanese fans and a lot of times that watch this anime are already caught up to the manga. They own the manga volumes, they're caught up, but they want to see these cool things that they're reading in the anime. So Toei's only response is to take the things that are happening, Zoro's Conqueror's Haki, Conqueror's coding, Luffy's Conqueror's coding, and they'll probably make it happen a little earlier. Specifically, they've done this with 984 and Zoro's Conqueror's Haki. They're putting things in earlier to cater to those fans in Japan that are already caught up to the manga. That's from the business standpoint, catering to where most of their money is. The marketing standpoint is for people to buy volumes. Think about this. You've seen it go trending and you've seen the uproar on Twitter from all the anime onlys who got spoiled. I put that in quotations. But how Toei is doing this, it is a very good marketing strategy. By spoiling these people that are anime only, it makes them feel like they are excluded and they are not in the loop. It makes them feel like they're going to keep getting spoiled. So what are they going to do in response? Go and buy manga volumes to catch up to the manga. This is good on a business front and a marketing front. Now, the question on everyone's mind is, Synsei, how do you feel about it? I can't say that I like it for the anime onlys, but as a manga reader, it truly does not bother me too much. But this video was more so to inform you guys about Zoro's Conqueror's Haki and explain episode 984 in more detail. It's not to truly go in on the episode and talk about my feelings about it. I really just wanted to give you guys a good perspective and try to inform you a little bit of why this was and explain Zoro's Conqueror's Haki being so easily used within the anime. But of course, guys, these are just my thoughts. But if you have any questions or concerns, make sure you comment down below. Also, my Discord link is down there as well. Make sure you click that and join the Synsei Grand Fleet server. And as always, I hope you all are staying safe and healthy during these trying times. This has been Synsei Inc., and I will see you all in the next video.